Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Ahead of the Curve Live. I'm David Thomas. This is Bo Gill.
Hey.
We're here to talk about what you want to talk about tonight. And Bo, there's a lot to talk about. Probably
There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I know. There's,
first off, we're on a Monday night, so we apologize. Not last week, we couldn't make it for the Thursday night, so here we are, Monday Night Live. So turn your wrestling channel off and then start watching us, right? Don't they still have the wrestling on Monday night? So
I couldn't tell you about that. I don't watch TV really. But Bo, there's a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff.
But we want to hear from our viewers tonight. Like the last two times, I mean, both of our episodes have been a lot of participation, and we appreciate you guys. And we want to say tonight is sponsored by Shelbyville now.
Yes, we thrive on the participation of all you viewers, listeners, viewers. And we just want you to ask your questions. We've got some topics. And as a matter of fact, you know what time it is. It's Walking Horse Show time, David. So
it starts Thursday.
It starts Thursday. So that's one thing for everybody to be on the lookout for. Yes, we're a growing city already and traffic's a concern, but the horse show comes, it causes a little bit. So just be a little bit more patient. I myself included. And let's do this together. And I'm hoping we're going to have a really good show this year, well attended, as we've been setting the precedent.
Well, speaking about attendance, let's just ask some of our viewers: are you going to the horse show this year? If not, are you going to travel on vacation? Is that something you do? Do you rent your house out? Joshua Blevins likes the donkey. Okay, the donkey has an important role tonight, and we'll get to that later.
Yes.
This is Elvis. In case you're wondering.
Yeah.
Prime time, baby, Brendan Taylor. Yeah, this is prime time. So
prime time.
Share this right now so we can get more people here, because we need more voices. And we appreciate you guys sharing and promoting this.
It's your show. We need you. We need your participation. Let us know what's on your mind.
Emily Gill, I'll be going every day. Yeah, she will.
Yes,
she's been going every day this entire year.
Yes, she's already been going every day. So.
Okay, so Emily,
thank you for your service.
Your dedication is appreciated. Without you, we couldn't have a celebration.
That's right.
All right, so let's talk about the celebration this year, Thursday through next Saturday. Yes. 10 days as usual.
Always.
Kids are out of school starting Friday. They get out. They get the whole week. I know several people that are going to the Gulf Coast and going to the beach.
You go down there right now, it's going to be like little Shelbyville over there. You just watch out. It will be. You will run into somebody because that's where they go. A lot of people, I don't know, they used to rent out their houses. I don't know if they still do. I'd like to know how big that still is here in town. But yes, this is the time for, unfortunately, I'm going to be in town here. I don't want to go to the beach, but I would rather be at the celebration. And I just feel sorry for those people that go out. It just really breaks my heart for them.
Going to the beach. You feel sorry for the ones going to the beach. All right.
I'm trying to make myself feel better.
Okay. All right. So Josh Blevins says he's going to the horse show in the mornings long enough to pick up donuts.
Well, that's very good. And now that he mentioned it, who's going just for the donuts? I mean, seriously. I know that's one thing, you can go in the gate, kind of get the look, get the feel, get you some donuts and hit the road. I know there's several that'll do that too, but they are good.
Yeah, I heard they were going to start selling tickets for people to go in. You got to buy a ticket to go get the donuts.
They ought to have an early release date. I mean, they ought to just really build this thing up like a week before and just have people camping.
Well,
it is a popular thing. If you hadn't tried it, try it.
It's world famous.
World. I heard there was people in Japan eating them all the time. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, the horse show is definitely going to be in front of us, and we're going to see flies and cars and a few horses. All right, so let's move on from that. And let's talk about what's going on right now in Bedford County that the big talk is. And there's several things that there's been some talk about.
Yes.
And let's start off, first of all, with our local newspaper situation. I put this story out Saturday when it was breaking. WTVF Channel 5 reported on this, and the Times Gazette, our former newspaper who closed, announced that they were going to be reopening and serving those subscriptions that were left hanging.
That's right.
And prorated and giving credit for those that didn't get papers. And the story is that the bank that held liens on the business has hired they've contracted
somebody that's in the business.
Yeah, from Camden, Tennessee.
To build it up, to make it pretty, to make it flourish, and get their money back.
Here's the question I have for everybody. The Bedford County Post put out their first weekly edition last Wednesday, and yes. I hadn't seen a copy of it. I hadn't been able to get a copy of it, but I do have an old copy of the Times Gazette. I know the two look very different.
They do.
So the question is, I would like to ask everybody that's listening out there and watching out there, do you think Bedford County, Shelbyville, Bedford County area has enough news and enough content where there can be two newspapers and they both succeed? That's a question.
Yeah.
And Bo, what do you think?
Well, I think that it would be hard when one just about didn't succeed. But if their business plan is on point, then they will. It all depends on what the ownership wants to do. If they just want it to just kind of, well, not say ownership, but management. The bank owns it. But if they're wanting to really build a brand to sell, then they may do that. But I do think that it would be hard with the amount of news, unless one specialized in sports more, or maybe one in other things. It would be hard, and it would have to be, a biweekly, which it's not a moneymaker anyway.
That's my question. How does it work when you're going to lose money? Well, then the way it unfolded.
I think that it's just the historical value of the Shelbyville Times-Gazette. Maybe they're thinking there's somebody that just read it their life, and they're going to try to get into the newspaper business, and they just don't want to let it go. I don't know. Maybe there's been a lot of pushback. I mean, it's a historical thing. I mean, the Shelbyville Times-Gazette, and like you said, it is a different paper. The fonts are different. It's a different looking paper. The Bedford Post is, but can you imagine two coexisting in a small town?
No.
I mean, you might have a specialized paper in a lot of these small towns, but Nashville, I mean, the banner's gone. I mean, there's several that.
Well, most small town, I read somewhere there were 45% of your small town, and I don't know what the definition of that they're using or the criteria, but 45% of small town print media has actually vanished in the last 8 years. Okay, so that lets me think it's not a big profit maker, but is there a philanthropist out there that wants to just put money into it, not trying to make money, but provide a service?
I think that's what they're looking for. And in the behind the scenes, the bank's wanting just their money back, whatever that is, and they're wanting to build up a brand to get to that point.
So I guess another question is, and before we get into that, Brendan Taylor, I think we'll have to give a once a week paper time to settle before we can say if it will succeed or not. I have high hope for the Bedford Post, but only time will tell.
But in the meantime, you go to shelbyvillenow.com and we have all the breaking news, the most up to date. So
where the question is for you guys, where do you get your news? If you want to look for news right this minute, where are you going to look for it? Okay.
And we had that poll back a month ago. I think it might still be on the website.
I took it down.
Yes. How do you get your news? And what was it? 80% were
75%
online.
75%.
I would say, and that's kind of what I would do. I'd get my news. I'd check the internet, the website, and then I would read the paper. As kind of like a supplemental to kind of go over the the
okay.
news.
Here's Amanda Langford. She makes a valid point here. It is a historical landmark in Shelbyville. However, the way that business was handled at the end probably shoved some of us to the new paper. Well, that's also all those employees that were there moved to the Bedford Post because they had no option.
The way I was understood, that it wasn't a fair deal to the employees. And
John Hart comes in and says Shelbyville Now for local news.
That's it. Well, good. Well, we
appreciate John, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for
watching.
Work
hard to provide those services, and we just. It's a hobby to be informed and be informed with the truth, because there's a lot of garbage out there.
Yeah. Brandon, thanks for being here. Joshua, all you guys that have chimed in here, thanks for your input.
But I would be, where are they going to be? They're going to have to be a new location, I guess, because the building has been purchased by different owners. So,
that's not even going to be a newspaper.
Yeah.
It's just going to be used for something else.
That's right. But are they going to have a building? The New Times Gazette, are they going to do something? They got to do something, or are they going to use their printing presses in Kentucky and just use offices?
West Tennessee.
Yeah, so I'd say they'd be using home offices, or maybe get a little office and then send the news off, print it, and then come here like they were doing
possibly.
Before. I'm just speculating, but that's the way it was working before.
Teresa and Alan Gill.
All right,
your mom and dad are watching this.
Yeah, all right. They always got their
Thanks, guys, for watching. So time will tell. I think that one of the probably mishaps in this whole thing is all the historical data, all the historical records that the Times Gazette possessed. The question is, where is it?
Where is
it still intact? Has it been destroyed? Is it preserved?
And
that's a
important.
question that really our city and county government probably need to check into
for the
sake
sake of historic, of historical records of Bedford County, of Shelbyville. That is the source. That is what we depended on for 100+ years. And there's so many documented things. Where are those? Where are those documents? And where is that? I mean, for all we know, it could be in somebody's garage. It could be somewhere.
We have a written in a historical photograph. Well, photographical. I don't even know how to say that word.
Spit it out there.
History and photos. Okay.
Yes.
Following all the way back to the late 1800s, some of it was preserved by the Times-Gazette, and then we have all the written documentation of events that took place. We've got how the Times-Gazette interpreted and reported JFK's assassination.
Right.
How World War II was covered.
That's right.
That's a historical document.
And that might be something that for the county records to keep. That's something that's big, and maybe that's something that could be investigated by local.
Ted Craig comes in and says, Bo Gill for president. Love you, cuz.
Appreciate you.
For president of what, Ted? That's the question. President of what?
President of Shelbyville Now and the Donkey of the Week Club.
What are you talking about?
Well, the Donkey of the Week. We're going to get them to pick a Donkey of the Week towards the end of this show. Isn't that correct? Isn't that what Elvis is doing here?
So you just broke the secret right here.
Well, yes, I did. It came out. The threshold was worth walking over, and I just went straight.
So that gives us a segue. Be thinking about who you would like to nominate for Donkey of the Week. Okay, this is Elvis. We introduced him like we're going to present this to the Donkey of the Week. So you think about who the Donkey of the Week could be, but we're going to move on now and talk about something that might hit our pocketbooks a little bit.
All right.
Back in, what was it, April, our county commission turned down the private act that would have allowed the county commission to set a wheel tax. And that, of course, was voted down 9-9. And now
highly debated.
Highly debated.
Private act. It was going to sweep through.
Okay, so now we have talks that there's a potential for a wheel tax by referendum coming. So my question to you folks would be, are you for or against a wheel tax in Bedford County? How would you vote if it was put to referendum? Okay. Let's see. Randy Carroll, Mayor Randy Carroll's on.
Mayor. Glad to have the distinguished gentleman here.
He makes a comment. We welcome all the visitors coming to the celebration. We applaud all the people of Shelbyville that keep the show on track. Thanks to all. I plan to be there. Mayor Carroll, thank you, Mayor Carroll, for your input. And thank you for supporting the celebration and giving your support to everybody that's trying to do positive things in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Thank you very much. All right. So how many of you would, if it was put to referendum, would vote for a wheel tax?
And I'm interested to know, because it would be, because I know that there are a lot of arguments that it's more people, more skin in the game, so to speak. And I would like to know. And historically, it's always been turned down. It's a way for everybody to have a little bit on there, but I would like to know what everybody thinks about that and what your opinion is on that. Well, it's a highly debated topic.
Drew Leverett, no more taxes. Pretty simple.
That's what I kind of was thinking. We've got a lot, and it seems like if we can take care of what we're getting and eliminate some of the things we don't need, that could be. I don't know. I don't look at the books every day, but there's always room for improvement.
Well, my understanding is we're a little bit better off financially than what's being portrayed, and what the reluctance to report that is so that a potential new tax could come in play.
It's always reluctant to implement any type of new tax because they don't go away. Wheel taxes don't go away. They go up.
Well, let's look at Riverdale High School. It was going to be built with a wheel tax 51 years ago. That was going to be passed, paid for, and eliminated. They still got it today.
Yep. Lincoln County, another one. They started low. They're at the highest in the state currently, and they're our next door neighbor to the south. $90 wheel tax, and they're having issues too. Do we want to stick with that? Do you want to pay, and with seniors and veterans and people just barely getting by, then another wheel tax? It's something to talk about.
All right, so we've got one response here. We've got a lot of people watching right now. Are you reluctant to say yes or no at this point? Or are you emphatically no, or sitting on the fence? Well, just give us your comments on the wheel tax thing. My vote would have to be no on a wheel tax. Amanda Langford. Thank you. Tad Craig, we've needed the wheel tax for years. Our town, okay, now we're talking about county. So it's not the town, it's not the city, it'll be county. Our town has so many renters per capita that all have cars, and it's much more fair share tax.
Well, in the county and the city, and I think that that's what he's kind of alluding to.
Yeah.
And you know, with the way that the land taxes have gone up so much lately, and then the gas and everything, it's just like, are we really wanting to talk about taxes again? And most people that I've talked about with it, they're like, really, already another wheel tax discussion? And it's just we would like to know the public's input.
Okay, so Ted's for it, Tyler's for it, Teresa, your mom. I would be for a wheel tax if our land taxes wouldn't go up. Well, how do you guarantee that? You can't guarantee that, Teresa. So you got to think real hard when you flip the switch. Do you trust our county government 10 years from now not to raise wheel tax and then still go up on property taxes? Well, you got to think that way.
Well, you know, she was a math teacher. She could probably whip up some equations.
She will whip it up.
All right.
Let's see. Okay, Drew Hooker, please explain that the proposal would include a reduction of property taxes by 19 cents. Drew, we're not getting into that specific proposal. What we're talking about is a wheel tax or not.
I will say that the way that I've heard it presented, that it will be up to the people in a referendum, and that's what's key.
Well, yeah, it's got to be.
Well, no, it don't, because they tried to do a private.
I know, but that got slammed back.
That's right, but at least it's giving the people the chance.
That's the way it ought to be. You don't circumvent the public.
No, you don't, because that's kind of the way it was. It seemed the first time, you know, just kind of giving them a broad license. This way, we've got to say so, and if there is a plan coming up, we trust that it will be presented just like it's supposed to be.
All right, we got Josh Blevins on here. The county got $5.5 million in additional property tax revenue last year, $2.2 million in additional sales tax revenue. They don't need more tax revenue. Okay, Brendan Taylor, I'm not in favor of any wheel tax. I try to keep an open mind, but I've yet to be convinced that it is a good option for the present. My mind may change later, but in my opinion, now's just not a good time. And it could be that we've been hammered for the last 5 years.
That's exactly right.
Okay. All right. So we got Benjamin Burris, wheel tax over an increase of property taxes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a tough call.
And then you got every 6 years it gets reassessed, and if the market goes good, then your taxes already go up. And then, you know, once you've got a wheel tax, the wheel tax is always there, and it will never go down.
Let's talk about another wheel involved in this. That's the political wheel. The political
wheels
always
keep spinning.
Okay, so that changes month to month.
Oh,
I mean, you might have a wheel tax come in here and say, okay, it's going to be $70, $80, $90 a car. That's fine.
Yes.
Okay. And next year it might be $150 because that political wheel has got in there and changed.
And think about the impact that it has on these companies that do have cars. You know, that they have a transportation company or certain that have to deal. Think of the cost that they're really getting hit with. I mean, there's a lot of arguments against and for it, but we thank you for your feedback.
That's what come on, keep giving us your opinion on this, and maybe when a proposal is laid out publicly, we'll discuss that.
Yes,
but at this point, we don't know anything other than hearsay.
Yes.
So, okay, John Hart, no, because it will be a double whammy to property owners, guaranteed.
That's the way a lot of things are. It's double taxation. You're already getting taxed with the gas, with this and that. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. So I get the sentiment, but then the other side say, well, you know, we can do more. And then here's another thing: do we want good things in this town? A lot of people say, well, I like good restaurants. We've got some coming. Well, we got to pay for those too. But we got to be diligent with our money and what's coming in, and to know that it's being spent correctly. And if we need it, then we can have.
All right, Tyler Gill makes a good point here. Lots of rentals in comparison to landowners, and I'm quite sure those landowners, those landlords, raise those rates to make sure that they have enough.
Well, they may or may not, but it isn't implemented. That's the thing, that the individual isn't implemented. But yes, you're right.
All right, Donna Smith.
That's why they try to pack them full.
All right, Donna Smith says, one of my commissioners told me that the county needs another stream of income. I want to know why the county needs more money. If we look at surrounding counties, wheel tax continues to go up every year. Why does the county need more money? That's a question for somebody that's got their head dug into those finances and they're looking at them.
Yes.
And right now, I'm afraid that there's only a handful of people that are really digging into it and looking at it.
You know, what do we want? We want police. We want a good police force that's paid right. We want to be safe. We want to be secure. We want to have emergency services. We want to be able to compete with those people. But we are still Bedford County.
Well, we did that last year.
We did, and we
hammered the citizens and got that raised.
We did, and they are now. And now that we do that, what do we do with the other, you know, money? There's a lot of different programs and a lot of monies that go here and there. And if it can be reassessed, you know, better, and there could be renegotiation, something could give there.
I'll tell you something. I've been in business a long time, and you can always do better than what you're doing now.
I think you should. I think that should be a mindset for anyone. I think you could always go in and look at things, but I think the status quo gets going. You know, well, every year we give them. We'd hate to hurt their feelings. Well, sometimes feelings get hurt.
John Hart, how about a wheel tax for those that don't own property? I don't know how you would pull that off, but that's not a bad idea. I don't know. Okay,
it's not.
Okay,
it's not. And give incentives for the seniors. And for
John, thanks for that idea. Okay, somebody might get that and run with it. All right, Amanda Langford. I live inside the city of Wartrace, so I already pay city and county taxes. I feel like most of us pay a lot now, and I'm not sure what a wheel tax will improve in the county. Teresa Gill, I like that idea. Speaking about John Hart's idea, Angie Ingalls, I would vote no. Wheel tax will continuously go up. Most are struggling now. Veterans, disabled, and elderly are fixed incomes will not be able to afford it.
Wow, thank you all for your comments. This is great, and we just appreciate all the feedback. This is what this show is about. This is your show. We want you to participate, and we want to just start a discussion on it.
Right, and I appreciate the respectful discussion that we're having here.
Yeah,
we all have different ideas and come from different vantage points, so it's good to have a healthy discussion like this. And I just say this: thank you for not attacking anybody personally.
Yes, and we're not here to attack anybody.
And we appreciate all these. I might disagree with half of these things, but you know what? This is an open forum.
It is.
And we thank you and appreciate your participation.
It is.
All right. So I think right now we're seeing lots of ideas coming up and lots of no's and lots of maybes and some yeses. So there's a mixed bag out there. I think people have got to evaluate this closely.
People don't want to pay more taxes.
Yeah.
I think that's what I get from everybody around here.
Emily, this is a good one here. Emily Gill. What about vehicles sitting in yards and driveways that are not running?
Well, if they got wheels, they're taxed.
Well, that's true. If they got a tag on
it's
them,
about wheels and how many wheels you got. But I lost my thought now.
Well, let me tell you this. I know I looked this up last year when a wheel tax was just mentioned in a conversation, and I called the office, Donna Thomas's office, and asked how many registered vehicles there were in Bedford County. It was right around 60,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you do the math. If it's 70, 80, $100 on 60,000 would be $6 million in revenue.
Yeah, it'd be a good revenue. I mean, and I'll see the arguments both ways, but I still feel like we pay a lot of taxes.
Connie Hasty, I don't want my property tax to go up. I know things cost money, but we need more schools because more people have moved into our county. And right now, just to talk about Cartwright School, it's going up fast.
It's going up. The walls are up. It's getting going.
Here's the bottom line of that. Talking to Dr. Garrett this week on the interview I did with her, she mentioned that at the end of that cycle, when that's done, we will have all the children out of portable units.
Bravo.
And that's a goal. And there's progress. There's reports coming that are showing the progress that Bedford County school system.
That's right. And Liberty will be having a wing added on in the near future.
It's down the road.
It's down the road. But
the money, the thing about it, the money has already been located for this thing.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so the money's hiding there.
It's there waiting.
Okay. All right. So
waiting for the hope that materials don't go up. That's what it's waiting for, that money.
Well, we still got money. I mean, just somebody needs to come out and tell us how much money we got.
We need to know how much money we got.
Okay. All right. Any other comments out there about the wheel tax?
Or the horse show or the celebration or anything that's on your mind?
Well, there's a lot of things on my mind. We just talked about Cartwright School, and I just drove by there, and it's amazing how fast it's going up. It's also amazing how fast Chick-fil-A is going up.
Chick-fil-A is rolling.
And one question I've got for everybody about Chick-fil-A is how are we going to get in and out on a crowded North Main Street?
Well, I heard they're taking helicopters and they're going to drop your car in there.
Bo, I'm going to nominate you for this if you keep on.
Oh,
all right.
Don't
but
threaten
I
me.
think a back entrance would be very wise. I don't know if that's planned. Do you know?
I do. I don't know if it's planned. It is. But then you're putting that burden right there on Hoodlum Alley. I think that what it's going through. I forgot the official name of the road. But then you're putting a burden on
Thompson
the
Street.
I think so. And it'll put a big burden on it.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think that it is doable because I think that lot does have frontage on both roads.
Right.
But I do not know.
Drew Leverett, no more taxes and he's got some kind of little face there that looks like a laugh and a cry all at the same time.
Oh, and Firehouse Subs. Has anybody tried?
Yeah, but we got somebody else to get to here, Amanda Langford.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
and this is going to open another conversation.
I won't give away the free sub.
All right, no, forget the sub. We're going to talk about Liberty needs their own high school. Cascade and community kids can go K through 12 in their own communities, and Liberty kids have to be sent to other schools. That's been that way for a long time. I think the original plans were to have a high school, but I don't know. They look at certain demographics to determine at Liberty.
Yeah, and they do have land there to expand. They've got about 50 or so acres that connected to it. But you gotta have the needs for that.
Yeah,
and
Amanda, you might know the actual count of students there going K through 8, and I think that's what it is, K through 8. My kids went there. Great school, we loved it. Great faculty. A down-home family atmosphere, and that's what's so unique about our schools in Beaufort County. Community has its atmosphere, their family atmosphere. Cascade definitely does, and Liberty does,
and Central does. It's
a different culture at each school, but they have their own family.
That's right.
So, Amanda, if you know those numbers, that'd be nice to know. I hadn't really looked at that, so. But that is a potential need down the road in the future.
It is,
and it's something to look forward.
Definitely.
Okay.
There's a lot happening here. I mean, like I said earlier about the horse show traffic that comes in, that used to be when all the traffic comes. But nowadays, a Tuesday afternoon, there's a lot of traffic now. So the horse show, or the celebration this year, the Tennessee Walking Horse National Celebration, is in town, and I just want to remind y'all to be a little more patient, because that traffic's gonna be rough coming up this weekend. But I'm excited. The celebration.
Well, here's a question for everybody: have you already noticed the traffic flow changing since a few people have started getting in town for the celebration? Have you been fighting the traffic?
I've been seeing those dualies. You always see several dualies and several trailers in town. And buddy, they're ready. They're revving. Let them walk on.
Okay, Brandon. I don't even want to think about the traffic atrocities that the chicken place will cause. The chicken place. All right, don't get me wrong. I love the Lord's chicken, and we all do. But that is a wild decision for a location. And I agree with you. It's so close to the 231-41A.
It is. It's already rough there.
Yeah, it
backs up there.
Okay, and Mr. Producer fired up here, and he said, and I don't know if he went out there to try to get one of these fire subs, but he said the line was out in the street already.
Oh, wow.
Huge line.
Bless his heart, Mr. Producer.
That's the way we are here. Boy, if a new place comes in, we flood them for a week.
It is the place to be. It's just the new Walmart. Get ready. But then
what new Walmart? You already started the rumor now. No. Okay.
No, it's like
he's 2 strikes toward Donkey of the Week. 2 strikes.
I always like to be the inaugural. They always remember the first one. So
yeah,
I think
we're going.
I'm just kidding.
All right,
I think we can get. Let's
be quiet. Emily wants to talk. Okay.
All right. Yes, sir.
All right, Emily Gill. People will turn right to avoid pulling across traffic, then turn onto the side streets to cut through the dairy.
Oh,
she's right.
They're burning up Green Lane.
They'll be running around like cockroaches.
It is. Yeah. You watch it. You gotta watch out. It's getting crazy.
All right. John Hart comes in. Had the firehouse tonight. John, how was the firehouse?
And how long did you have to wait to get in the firehouse? I've heard that it's wonderful. It's just, I'm glad that we have that. I think that's something that it just freshens it up more. It's neat that it's in that area. And not too long ago, that was like a hilly area, and then we had Ruby Tuesdays there. Now look at that place.
The area where Sonic, Traders, Bank, Legends is, to me, is very bad. Yes. Sonic, Traders, Bank, and Legends. Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. There is always somebody going in Legends or Sonic, and then they want to turn in the road there. I mean, I don't know how many.
And good grief, what about Taco Bell right next to it? At night.
Shelbyville loves them some Taco Bell.
At 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, this is probably like the Taco Bell of the South, because it is always just packed.
Brendan Taylor to Emily Gill. Absolutely, it's the worst. Okay, so we've got a traffic problem.
We got a traffic problem. That's what we got.
All right, here's the question.
Thank you for your complaints.
Brandon,
be patient. No
Brandon and Emily, do we need a traffic light somewhere around in there? What do you think?
We need a Taco Bell light. That's what we need. We need one for all of them. But I tell you, just all jokes aside, this Chick-fil-A, it's going to bring some traffic. We thought new things were traffic. This is going to be the traffic of traffic, I think.
All right, so Ben Burris, Benjamin, toll road at entrance to Chick-fil-A. Not a bad idea. Toll road.
Man, I knew Benji would come up with the best solution.
Here you go. Instead of a wheel tax, a toll road to Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, that's it. Put his name on it.
Mr. Producer, make notes of that, please. Mr. Producer.
See, we get such brilliant comment here. See, that was just a great example of it right there.
Ingenuity.
That's right.
Ingenuity. That's what we're looking for.
That's right. We like
Guys,
originality too.
This
is fun. I'm glad y'all are here, and I'm glad y'all are having a good
Let's
time.
emphasize this. This is your chat.
This is your chat.
This is your chat.
All yours. You just let us know.
Even though we ramble, we're gonna stop and listen.
We're gonna ramble. We don't like dead time. It gets quiet. We want to make sure we don't want to. We kind of want to lull you to sleep. We don't want to just put you to sleep with silence.
No, I don't think this bunch is gonna sleep.
No, they're not sleeping. I'm just kidding. We're gonna fire them up. I'm fired up.
All
too.
right, so let's do this. In the last few minutes of the show, I would like to take nominations for Donkey of the Week. Who could it be?
Who could it be? Could it be Mr. President, or bless his heart, Mr. President, or could it be somebody?
Stephen Gall is watching. Are you nominating yourself for Donkey of the Week, Stephen? Is that what that is?
He just
now popped in.
He just takes one for the team every time. Stephen, thank you.
No, I don't think. No.
Oh, okay.
No, he's
Sorry.
not.
Right.
He's not. We can
He's a
come
good guy.
up with better candidates. You're one of them.
Well, I know.
Right.
I know. I am teetering on the border there, and that's okay. I'll wear it with proudness.
You're flirting with donkeyhood.
Well, Donkey Kong, Donkeyhood, it's be all good.
Do you understand what the donkey represents?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
I do.
All right. So, any nominations?
Well, we got a little
any
bit
nominations.
I don't think so.
All right. If I don't hear, all right. Reply to Emily Gill. Yes.
Okay.
After a night of ball games, you get backed up for a while, and she's talking about that little place on North Main, and Tyler Gill
every single time.
I don't know what he is. Bo, absolutely, he's nominating you for Donkey of the Week.
I figured that would come. I love my family. They just they think the best of me, and I just want to just.
But you're not getting it yet. Okay. You're not getting it.
I was giving my
taking
speech.
nominations. You're not walking away with the prize yet.
Okay, good.
Elvis, we'll stay on the desk. I just got news for you. All right, Mr. Producer. If you were to nominate somebody for Donkey of the Week, and this might kick off a little bit, who would you nominate for Donkey of the Week? We're waiting for your response on that, sir.
Yeah, I think it's a. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
I think we got a winner here.
Bo Gill. We got 3 nominations at this point.
Thank you for your votes.
Do I hear any other nominations for Bo Gill to be Donkey of the Week?
You know what 3 votes shows me? That everybody else loves me. There's only 3 people that don't like me in this world right there, and that's what I'm thinking. That predominantly everybody.
Oh, this is something to wear proud, Bo.
Okay.
Be honored. Okay.
And I hope that we can think about who will be as you go throughout your week this week, and our next show comes up. Think about who you would like to be the Donkey of the Week. I think we ought to bring this back every segment, and who knows where it could go.
We're going to close.
Thank you very much.
We're going to close on this, Mr. Bo. I'm going to present Elvis to you as Donkey of the Week.
Thank you.
You don't have to be present to win, people. So just remember next week as we get ready. And guys, thank you for your participation. Okay, all right, we got. I see no reason why Bo can't serve as Donkey of the Week.
Thank you,
Taylor. All right, Emily Gill.
That.
Does it have to be a person? No, it doesn't have to be a person. And Charlie Harper says junior sons. Don't know who that is, but he's only got one.
Yes.
Good donkey or bad donkey, Mr. Producer?
Yeah, I'm the good donkey, and he is the.
All right, so we'll let people decide on that.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so
there's good donkeys and bad donkeys.
All in good fun, guys.
We call the bad donkeys, right?
All right, guys. Thank you for watching tonight. Thank you for participating.
Yes,
there's been some great ideas thrown on the table, and I hope somebody sees these that can possibly discuss this, maybe going further.
Get the word out.
And next week we'll be back.
Yes,
we'll be back at this very same time, Monday night, 8 o'clock.
We've started with the Monday night, so just stay tuned. Yeah. We'll remind you, keep your reminder. But we do want to thank you again for the participation. It gets better and better every week. We like this sweet spot time. I think maybe the 8 o'clock seems to be where everybody wants to be. But just let us know, throughout the week, send us a message, and we just want to thank you and spread the word. Always spread the word on what we're doing here, and it's just fun. Just come have fun with us for a night.
Yeah, I think that on the social media platforms like this, they sometimes kind of throttle it back a little bit so it don't get out there because it could be viewed as political, and we're going to try to make a political show. This is going to be a fun show.
We're going to be fun,
but serious. And thanks a lot
for sure.
And again, we'll be back next Monday night at 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Invite your friends. Bring some popcorn next time.
It'll make your week better. Your week will already be better. Everybody watches already.
All right, we're done.
No guarantees.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.